Now, hey guys, we're back to another YouTube video, and in today's one, we are back with another review video. So, my microphone should be way louder than it is usually, because I'm using a new recording software, since OBS just is trash right now. Like, it's just clowning on me. So, we're going to be doing a review video for the inibuilds A350. So, let's go ahead and check this thing out. So, I'm loaded in with the default inibuilds house livery, as you can see right here. And the reason for that is because we have some settings we might want to customize on here. So, that's what we're gonna do. Anyways, I just turned off the engines because they're too loud. But I'll turn them back on soon. I'll just turn on the bleed because I can't be bothered to do later. So, this is the new inibuilds A350. So, we're going to check this thing out. So, first up, our oxygen mask. So, this is pretty cool. Okay, not really the best sound. But, however, let's go ahead and test it. You can see that right there. So, we can also test it on here, though it doesn't work. Oh, it doesn't here. Okay, so we have jump seats and another seat right here. So for an ultra long hauler aircraft, you usually have like 4 pilots in the cockpit. So there's 2 pilots and 2 co-pilots, and that's just because like once the pilot shift are done, they'll just go into the crew rest area, and then the next 2 co-pilots will take over, and then the cycle just goes on. So it's just really like that. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out the cabin. So this has a non-cabin and a cabin variant, and it has a no cabin variant for system resources, because like some people don't have powerful systems at all, so they have to respect that. So this is like a first class seat over here, which is not modeled really nicely. And then if we go up here, there is a flight attendant panel. So we can change, so we can like say the cabin is ready. We can adjust the lights. We can adjust the temperature. We can open up the doors and slides, which we can also do in the cockpit, same with the temperature. And then water and waste. We have to refill these. So like we have to empty the waste and refill the water every once in a while. And then up here is a crew rest area, which is really cool. And then down here is a toilet. Now we have reviewed the A300 before, and the toilet was pretty good. But however, it wasn't this good. Like that. That is really impressive right there. So you can like flush the toilets and stuff, which is honestly very impressive. I think they took notes from the 5-hour A380 stream, because they asked, oh, is there a flushing toilet? And then they said no, and inibuilds just went ahead and added that in their A350. So here it is, the A350. So we're in the cockpit right now. So we have the signs that we need to adjust, obviously. We can adjust that. So here you go, the cockpit. So we have this tablet over here, so we can do a sim brief plan right here without like actually having to use sim brief. We have like briefing, terminal charts. We have our performances. We have these utilities right here, like autosave, panel states, AOC. But however, we go into the options over here, and then we head to OIS settings. We have LIDO charts, or LIDO charts, or LIDO charts, however you say it. So this is free. It comes built in with the sim, which means you don't need a Navigraph chart subscription. So if we go to the terminal chart, and then we search for the airport we're currently in, like so, then we'll get in the charts that come with the game, which is amazing. So we can just load it up right here, and then boom, we just have it. That is amazing to just have that for free. Now the thing that's not so free is that there are some features that are locked away still, and those features are stuff like brake to vacate. What else is there? So it's brake to vacate, and then there's also zoom on your navigation display, because you need a Navigraph chart subscription for that, which I don't have. So if we go back onto the options here, and then equipment, if you have like a livery that's in real life, like for example British Airways, then all of these will be managed for you, because you don't really get to change it like that. So we can change our battery types, and all of these stuff. And then for our external, we have wing hooks and fuel jets. So we do actually have some customizability with this. So we're going to go ahead and take this thing off once engine number 1 is done starting up. I think I was just auto-save. Anyways, let's go ahead and turn this. Let's go. So while we're in the flight, we're gonna test out a new feature that X-Plane does better than Microsoft. And that is simulated in here. So we're gonna quickly check that out. Once the engine is started up, now we're going to go ahead and on our speed brakes, which is already done. We'll do some flaps. Okay. Right, let's go. Let's just get it up to 50% first. Okay. So hard to read the screen. I think that's 80 knots. 100. I don't know what my takeoff speeds are, so V1 I guess. And then rotate. 15-degree pitch. And we're all good. So there is rain sound simulated in here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to wipe it away. Alright. I'm just gonna turn off the weather at this point. And then rainbow point. I think that's just like wiper fluid or something, I'm not sure. Anyways, let's just say we're happily ascending to the sky. All is well until this happens. We'll keep on with the lore a little later. So we're just gonna go through the situations and what they are. So before we get to situations, there are failures over here that you can simulate. Now this is what X-Plane usually does better, but however inibuilds is combating that and is trying to make Microsoft better. So there's stuff like bird strike, dual engine failure, GPS jamming, and all failures over there. So there's all of these. Now depressurization, we have to be over 10,000 feet for. We have to be at a certain altitude and above for it. Bird strike. This is the one we'll simulate. Dual engine failure. You know what that is. GPS jamming. So simulate entering an area of GPS jamming, reducing navigation capability. Now there's also other things like medical emergency, unruly passenger, which I guess is a drunk person, and then smoke in the cabin. However, those aren't implemented yet. So we're just going to do a bird strike. Yes. Let's go. We're just happily cruising along until...
Birds. Whoa.
The engine is shut down. The engine is in fact damaged. So, there is the wheel. There we go. Now, we're going to go ahead and divert. So we can see an airport inside right there. So I'm going to use the emergency descent feature. So I'm guessing the autopilot is doing like an emergency descent for us. Safely. So there are a few airports around us. I'm gonna divert to that one front. Let's go. Now anyways, I've heard that there is some model changes once the bird hits your plane. Yeah, I can't see anything. We'll have to get down for that. Okay, we're doing good on our descent. Oh, shoot. We banked a little too hard right there. So, when you have a bird strike, each time, it will only damage one engine. Though, however, the thing is, it is random each time. The last time I done it, it was engine 2, but now it's engine 1. So it is in fact randomized. Import random. Okay. We're going to see if we can restart engine 1 now.
2,500.
But however, obviously we cannot. Oh wait, that's because okay, we have our APU on because I left it on. I'm gonna arm the spoilers and oh, there's the airport right there. Okay, let's go ahead.
Sync rate.
Oh,
Stall,
shoot.
stall.
Okay, we're back on track. Oh, no, we're
500.
not. No, we're not. Okay, yeah, we're back
1,000.
on track. For real this time.
Sync rate.
So, let's go ahead and actually land this time. Because last
Sync
time,
rate.
I kind of pulled back on the stick a little too hard. But, however, all is well. Because we are
500
back
here.
on track. Oh yeah, right. We have to put our land there.
400. Sink rate.
And for some reason we don't have any flaps. Isn't it?
300.
And
Sink
there's a
rate.
very short runway in front
200.
of us. So I'm gonna go in for max
Pull up.
braking.
100. 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20,
Let's see if we can.
10, 5.
Come on. Okay, for some reason we got a 1-star landing, even though, yeah, that's a little strange because I did have a pretty smooth landing. It was just at the G-force with a little much, but however, we were in an emergency, so that's fine. But, however, we landed safely, totally without any crashes at all whatsoever. Okay, there we go. For some reason our APU isn't on. So, that is our pretty intense landing. So I don't really have that much time to review this add-on. So I'll just get to the point quickly about like textures. So, for our parking brake, there's some nice textures. And then we can obviously see over here. Let's see. Look at that. Little framey, but however, that's fine. Look at this too. Nice. Boom. There we go. So this looks really nice. The only complaint is I'm using the TCA Airbus Captain Pack Edition, and even though I'm at Toga right now and the simulator is totally aware of that, for some reason, like, it's not going above Flex MCT, even like if I do that. I'm not sure if that's like a thing in real life or something like that, but however, that is a little meh. So we have reviewed the A300 before, I've said that, but however, we can obviously do our maintenance options. So like the A300, we have maintenance options, so refill our hydraulics, oil in our engines, oil in our EPU, replace brakes, replace tires, you get the point. Now, there are also batteries here. I don't think that was in the A300, which is really nice to see. Now, if you run out of this, it will obviously be a little bad. And the state of the current aircraft does in fact save. So, don't think you're getting away with it by just restarting the flight. No, you're not. Anyways, we have our ground options over here, our load sheet, all that stuff. Anyways, we are just going to head into the avionics bay. Let's go down. So there is a latch over here that can be opened. Oh, so there's that. So there's some kind of supercomputer down here and a database. I'm not sure if this is meant to like, power the avionics and like compute everything or something like that. But however, that is really cool to see it animated right there and implemented as well. So, is there anything I wanted to do here? So this isn't just like a copy and paste, like you can actually plan your stuff. And then obviously the toilet flushes. We can just listen to that. I think I already included that in the video, but that was just in case I didn't. Now, oh yeah, right, that one thing I wanted to do. So if you go to ground, Avionics bay. Wait, is it? Oh wait. Let me just see if that opens it. No, it isn't. Okay. Right, so that was something I wanted to do with the Avionics bay. But, however, I believe you can actually open it. Doors and exits, all that stuff. Okay, so that is the inibuilds A350. What do I think of it? It's actually a really realistic add-on. If realism is your top priority, get this. If you like to go on ultra long haul flights, the A350 is good in general. And if you just love modern planes, then get this. And if you're a huge Airbus fan, get this as well. I do highly recommend this add-on. It is about 70 to 80 bucks, depending on whether you're British or not. Because like there's a difference between pounds and dollars. But however, this is in fact a really good add-on. Way better than PMDG. A little better than Phoenix. And I totally recommend this. Anyways, we're gonna take a look at the outside stuff. So I did hear that there are model changes to the plane, like specifically towards the nose. But, and that only happens like if you get a bird strike, and I've seen it before. Like it does dent it a little, but for some reason it's not working right now, which is a little shame. You can open up the engine cowling, and then we can have somebody actually like working on it on here, which is really, really cool. And then that really loud fan noise is the brake fan. And you can see that spinning right there. A little framey, but however, that is just purely optimization. And then also for the wear, it does respect the fact that this is still a relatively new plane. So there's that. But however, it just isn't like straight out the factory looking. It's like actually like modeled that well. And then we have these service doors right here to open. So this is a very like walk around plane. And if it just couldn't get any better, it just gets better. Because like usually there's like smoke down here, which is really cool. Anyways, now that we're done with that, my final rating, 10 out of 10, for sure. You will still need to pay a Navigraph chart subscription for zoom on your navigation display and brake to vacate, as far as I'm aware. But however, other than that, this might just be the best add-on I've ever bought. Our Phoenix is coming out with their big update, so let's see if that changes my mind. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.